The prophecy of the Chosen One was a legend foretold thousands of years before the birth of Anakin Skywalker and his subsequent rise to power as both a beloved Jedi general and fearsome Sith Lord. Through the generations, the legends of the Chosen One was subject to bending and evolving with the ever-progressing Order of Jedi Knights, with its meaning constantly in flux. While the Jedi recognized the prophecy as sacred and believed that the vision would one day come to full fruition, few Jedi fully understood what this meant, and some would even go on to question the meaning of the prophecy. When Anakin Skywalker was brought before the Jedi Council at 9 years old, the Jedi Order had tens of thousands of members within their ranks, while the Sith on the other hand obeyed the rule of only 2. With the Sith's resurgence not being common knowledge among the Jedi Knights at this point in time, with Qui-Gon Jinn adamantly advocating for the child's training in Anakin, believing him to be the Chosen One. Many of the other Jedi, though, were left to question exactly what balance meant and if the Chosen One bringing balance was actually a good thing. After all, the tens of thousands of Jedi Knights outweighed the order of only just 2 Sith. What exactly was the Chosen One meant to do, and why did the Jedi believe that the definition of balance meant eradicating the Sith from the galaxy entirely? Did the Jedi truly grasp the concept of balance, or were they too misled? Well, stick with us today, weary acolytes of the galaxy, and let's explore what exactly balance in the Force meant, what the Chosen One was meant to do, and what Master Windu of all Jedi believed the prophecy was foretelling. The Jedi of the Republic era were widely known for their dogmatic principles and strict adherence to a code, never coming to questioning their beliefs, though in the novelization for Revenge of the Sith, Master Windu challenged his faith in the Chosen One prophecy and the Jedi's purpose to destroy the Sith, finding flaws with the inherent ideology behind the complete annihilation of the Sith and the dark side. The crux of Master Windu's view was that the Jedi create light in the Force by doing good for others and serving the will of the cosmic force, while the Sith on the other hand simply exploit the Force for their own nefarious purposes, quoting the following: "Since the fall of Darth Bane more than a millennium ago, there have been hundreds of thousands of Jedi, feeding the light with each work of their hands, with each breath, with every beat of their hearts, bringing justice, building civil society, radiating peace, acting out of selfless love for all living things, and in all of these thousands of years, there have only ever been 2 Sith at a time, only 2. Jedi create light, but the Sith do not create darkness, they merely use the darkness that is always there, that has always been there, and that will always be there." This understanding of the prophecy proposed that the reason the Sith must be destroyed is because they are not manifestations of the dark side, nor are they in any way related to the will of the Force. Instead, they are power mongers who seek to bend the Force to their own will and utilize its power for conquest, and the Force itself does not have a say in their creation. While the Jedi are servants of the Force is a servant to the Sith, and this goes against anything that the will of the Force might dictate. The Sith use the Force for personal gain, while the Jedi preach to follow the will of the Force itself, in service to the Force always. In the minds of the Jedi, the Sith are outsiders while the Jedi are extensions of the very will of the Force itself, which explains why the destruction of the Sith was so integral in restoring balance across the galaxy within the Force, and why the Jedi believe so firmly that the Sith must be destroyed once and for all. With the Sith finally being gone, the Force would be free to enact its own will without interference by outsiders that wish to dominate and destroy. The destruction that the Sith could have and have waged across the wider galaxy with their immeasurable power all but dwarfed the good that the Jedi could ever do, as legions of 2 Sith Lords at a time have led to some of the darkest ages in galactic history. This sits in stark contrast with the feats of the Jedi, seeing as the good of the Jedi was all but forgotten in the wider scope of cosmic stakes, being drastically overshadowed by the eras led by the Sith rule. Perhaps the most well-known era of darkness was that of the Imperial Empire, under the rule of Darth Sidious and Darth Vader respectively, who were able to single-handedly eradicate the Jedi Order, with most of the Order falling within a matter of mere hours under Sidious's new rule. Based on this logic, the Chosen One was only meant to do exactly as the Jedi believed, destroy the Sith, and in destroying the Sith once and for all, they would restore the ability for the Force to truly guide the wider fabric of the galaxy of its own accord, not being enslaved by others. According to Jedi ideologies, conquerors who use the Force as a weapon were never part of its will, and while the Force may will evil to happen within the galaxy, it would would come from natural cosmic sources. The definition of natural darkness that resided in the Force were natural events, disasters or planets, famines, and forces of nature, not individuals who use the Force to their own will. The food web between creatures across the galaxy could be seen as natural darkness, as life forms must destroy one another in order to feed into the endless cycle of energy that circulates throughout the entire galaxy, the will of the Force at work. With the Force no longer being used as a tool for the Sith, it would no longer have its power turned against the galaxy and turned against its very own desires, allowing it to fully dictate the balance of light and dark as it was supposed to be, and we see this prophecy fulfilled ultimately in Return of the Jedi. When Darth Vader sacrifices himself to finally kill Palpatine, he destroys the last two Sith Lords in the galaxy, including himself and Sidious. And we are able to see the lasting impact that this has on the subsequent decades. From here, the only dark side users left would pale imitations of the Sith Lords, who were never able to fully master control of the Force to the same extent that the Sith Lords of old had, except of course for the returned Sidious. The rise of the Knights of Ren showed that entire legions of dark warriors were required to even challenge the impact left by just two Sith, and Kylo Ren spends his tenure as an agent of evil aspiring to live up to the image of his grandfather, a fully formed Sith Lord. He even forgoes taking on a Darth name, seeing as he himself is not an official Dark Lord, and the title of Darth is specifically reserved for members of the Sith Order. As the most powerful dark side era of the sequel trilogy, even Kylo Ren pales in comparison to the power that his grandfather once held within the Force, the galaxy, and within history itself. The caveat to this prophecy lies in the return of Palpatine during the Rise of Skywalker, which outright nullifies Vader's sacrifice at the end of Episode 6, but this again is exactly what the Sith are known for. They are known for breaking the will of the Force and defying what it wants and setting the course of cosmic history of their own accord, despite what the Force may want or will, which Palpatine ultimately did on multiple occasions. The strongest act of any Sith Lord is defying the will of the Force, defying death, and defying the natural course of events under which the galaxy was meant to flow, denying the behest of the cosmic Force. The Force always willed for the Sith to be destroyed at the hands of the Chosen One, but Palpatine and the Sith Order as a whole was able to defy this decree, and the Sith had constantly proven themselves to be the largest hindrance to the Force being able to enact its will over the natural order of events. This is where the prophecy of the Chosen One first originated, as the Sith are not a manifestation of the dark side, but instead they are the single greatest threat to the very Force itself, and are incredibly adept at defying its will, bending it to their own desires, and even going so far as to deny the prophecy of the Chosen One outright. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of this explanation? Why do you think the Force itself seems to hate and defy the Sith, and the Sith defy it? And do you think this is the proper definition of balance in the Force? And if not, what do you believe that we missed? As always, friends, thank you so much for watching the channel. If you've been enjoying the content, please be sure to Force crush that subscribe and like button, and may the Force be with you.